When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hey guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos and updates that I do post regularly on my community tab. If you want access to my content early, check out my Discord. This is the Sith of Gotham City, Chapter 1, Sith Acolyte, Part 5. Let's continue where we last left off in our story. As black and red sabers begin to clash, illuminating the room, Elijah uses his small size and quickness on his feet to dodge and weave around any lightsaber strikes that he couldn't block. He may not be able to overpower this masked light Sith, but he could easily outmaneuver his opponent. Even while he's clashing blades with this white Sith, he could feel and sense the stench of the light side weakening his opponent. I see. So that's how it is. For the life of me, I can't understand why they would willingly weaken themselves by practicing the light side of the Force. Using light techniques that normally are used by Jedi is one thing, but the traitor are purposely weakening them themselves. They're no Sith. They might as well be Jedi. As Elijah blocked another strike, Olivia, on the other hand, was pressing her opponent by using her anger and aggressiveness to unleash vicious strikes at her opponent wildly, forcing the female light Sith, to go on the defensive the entire time. Elijah and Olivia crossed paths as they switched opponents, as Elijah took Olivia's opponent in the reversal, as Olivia charges Elijah's old target or opponent. Elijah had to move fast with his new opponent. Like the other light Sith, the presence of the light side could be sensed, slightly weakening her, but despite her being weakened by the light side of the Force, and plus she doesn't have a strong sense of the dark side because of the light. Regardless of that, she is still skilled. She is still a deadly opponent for Elijah. In order to keep up with her speed, Elijah had to keep up with her. Elijah is only keeping up with her using his natural speed and reflexes. Elijah is far more adept in channeling the Force through his limbs. Elijah has always made it a habit to increase his base speed. Spark after spark, their lightsabers collide. Well, Elijah is using their practice saber while the light Sith is using an actual lightsaber. In a fast-paced duel, unlike Olivia, who likes to use her anger and aggressiveness to overpower her opponent. Elijah, on the other hand, takes a different approach in battle. He used technique and skill to overpower his opponent, either cutting them down or disarming them, whatever comes first. Elijah is currently testing the waters with his new opponent. When it comes down to it, Elijah is a battle strategist and loves to analyze fights. Even now, Elijah is analyzing his opponent while in the midst of their battle. Only reason Elijah can't really grow further is because of his age and the fact that his body is still growing. He's still only 10 years old. He's just a kid, given he's able to do a lot more because he has access to the Force. But he's still a child with training. But I digress. There are still some limitations because of his frail and small body. About time Elijah noticed, his battle took him out of the room into the hallway of the tomb. It was already too late, so he went with the flow of the battle. As the battle continued in the hallway, Elijah blocked a overhanded strike. Immediately after he blocked her lightsaber strike, Elijah immediately noticed sparks of electricity emanating from her fingertips. Then she immediately let out a force lightning from her opposite hand. As her fingertips shot out force lightning towards Elijah. Luckily for Elijah, he caught the sparks coming. He caught in time, seeing the sparks coming his way from her fingertips. Long before she unleashed her force lightning, Elijah used the Force to stop the force lightning and redirect it safely away from him. Once the immediate danger was over, Elijah force pushed the female light sith into the stone wall of the hallway of the tomb. Elijah lifted her up in the middle of there, using the Force and slamming her onto the ground repeatedly, as he used a powerful Force push that completely vaporized her entire body, leaving only a skeleton that soon after slowly turned to ash. Elijah was breathing heavy. He's never unleashed a Force push like that before. Once Elijah got his breathing under control, he picked up a deactivated lightsaber of the light Sith that he just vaporized and attached it to his belt on his hip, getting another trophy to add to his lightsaber collection. Meanwhile, Olivia was using her small size and superior speed and aggressiveness to overpower her opponent. She easily kept up with his strength by using the Force to increase hers. Olivia dodged and weaved around the lightsaber strikes as she unleashed a combination of strikes with her practice saber, forcing the light male Sith to go on the defensive, blocking every aggressive strike Olivia unleashed on the man. Well, he's in his teen area, but anyways, that's not the point. In the midst of her combination strike, she had to dodge a shot of Force lightning that the light Sith managed to shoot out of his fingertips in his opposite hand. She immediately backed off and got some distance. As another wave of Force lightning came shooting her way, she didn't have enough time to dodge, so she used Force fire to create an orb of fire over herself, blocking the Force lightning. Once her opponent attack stopped, she deactivated her Force fire shield Once the fire shield was gone, her opponent charged forward, ready for his lightsaber, ready for another close quarter combat with the lightsaber, only for Olivia to shut off his lightsaber in mid-charge using the Force and engulf him in a heavy dose of Force fire, completely engulfing him in flames, as screams could be heard out of pure pain. Olivia walked over to the flaming light Sith and picked up his weapon that he dropped when Olivia set it on fire and attached it to her belt. There's always need for spare parts when she finally constructs her very first lightsaber. Olivia stood there and watched the man burn, absorbing all of the negative emotions from the act. She was brought out of her bliss, sensing Elijah through the Force, entering the room once again. After the flames died out, and after they exposed of the body, the burned corpse. I see you handle your opponent very well. I wasn't expecting you to burn him alive, though. What can I say, Elijah? I'm multiple. I'm talented. We should probably head back. You're not wrong there. It's best if we do not linger here. Both acolytes traveled through the tomb and going back the way they came, exiting the ancient tomb and entering the ruined ancient Sith city that was infested with rancors, plural, more than one. Using the Force, Elijah led the way where there was no rancor in the location of where they're heading. Luckily for them, none of the rancor picked up their scent, so they made it through the entire city easily enough. They eventually went back through the cavern and the cave systems, leaving them outside of the cave. Then they walked down towards the transport, where they proceeded to take off to head back to the Sith Academy. After they arrived, Elijah and Olivia went their separate ways to get some sleep before classes start in the morning. Elijah was only able to get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep before he had to get up and do his morning training, then proceed to get some food in him. Afterwards, he made his way towards the first course of the day. As he calmly sat down next to Olivia, who looked like she could use some more sleep. Once the Sith instructor entered the classroom, he immediately begin his lecture in the introductions of torture, continuing their education in that subject. He followed this routine for a few days, learning about torture and advanced techniques with the Force. He also took a course continuing his knowledge of Sith alchemy. When Elijah got to his torture classes the next day, he noticed that the Sith instructor is already there, with a group of older Sith waiting to the side as Elijah took his seat next to Olivia. Do you know what's going on, Olivia? Don't got a clue. At least things should be interesting. Let's see how this plays out. It looks like the instructor is about to start. Good. You're all here. Before we begin, I must congratulate you Poor lot. You've done good so far when it comes to writing down material, but I wonder how well will you perform? See how you implement what you've learned in practice. Now today you will be assigned a seasoned Sith. You will be shadowing whoever Sith you were assigned to. Each Sith will have their own methods of how you're going to learn this lesson. This little test. Elijah listened carefully as the instructor continued his speech. Eventually, he stopped as Elijah watches the instructor, or the Sith, begin to pick acolytes. Elijah waited. He didn't have to wait long as one of the seasoned Sith approached him. As a female Sith, looks like to be around the age of 26 to 27 years old, human, with long black and red hair, with crimson red eyes, wearing blood red lipstick. Approach Elijah. You must be Elijah. Yes, master. Good. You know how to give proper respect. I have much to teach you. Come. I don't have all day. Oh, I almost forgot. Just in case there's some confusion, you may either refer me as Master or Darth Scarlet. Keep up, acolyte. Elijah followed Scarlet, while Olivia followed her assigned Sith out of the classroom to continue on what she could learn from him, from the Sith that she was assigned to. Where are we going, Master? To my ship. I'm sending you now the details on the target. Elijah took his holo communicator as a holographic image of a alien appeared. It is a young blue male Twi'lek. As this image appeared, he already has a large bounty on his head. You may take it if you wish, after we extract what he knows. This Twi'lek is very well known to have contact with the Republic and the Jedi. It is your task to find out what he knows. Of course, you're going to have to capture him, of course. Capture him? Yes, capture him, acolyte. By myself? Yes, you're to capture and torture this target on your own. I'm only here to observe your progress and to give out any advice if needed. Now, keep moving, acolyte. We got a long trip ahead of us. Once they got to the Academy docking area, where they dock all their spacecrafts, Elijah followed Scarlet to the stealth ship with patch of black and red scattered all around like claw marks. Scarlet opened the main door to gain entry to the stealth ship. Welcome aboard, Elijah. Welcome to Oblivion. Follow me. As she directed Elijah to the lounge area of the ship. Stay here. I'm going to program the ship to where we need to go. Do you know where he is? You honestly think I would give you that information? You're going to find out where he's located. And you're going to find out the old-fashioned way. on your own. Don't think you'll get any special treatment from me, acolyte. No matter what family you come from. In fact, the opposite will happen. I will be hard on you, acolyte. Regardless if you're a Rosefield or not. Don't disappoint me, acolyte. As Scarlet turned around and went to the bridge to program the ship to one of the worlds that's under control by the Hutt cartel, Scarlet sat down in the pilot's seat and detached the ship from the ground and begin to start up the preparations to take off. After everything was all said and done, the ship eventually took off. As Scarlet input the autopilot to what world they'll be heading off to, as she got up from her seat and to meet up with the acolyte, who was still in the lounge area of the ship, researching his target on his hollow communicator. I see you're already started to get to know your target. Indeed, there's quite a lot on him. His contacts, his known associates, his favorite hangouts, his safe houses. There's even his dislikes and likes in his dossier. Wonder how you got all this. That's all the effort of Imperial Intelligence, acolyte. If they want to know something, they'll definitely find it. So I take it we're going to a planet where he's been before. You catch on fairly quick, yes. You will start your investigation there, and I will be observing your progress. The other Sith that was a sign, an acolyte, might do things differently. Unfortunately for you, I like the more direct approach. There's no way better to get your feet wet by diving in the deep end. By the end of our time together, you will know how to track and hunt down your targets and successfully extract the information. Understood, Master. Good. Now, follow me. I'll show you where you be temporarily sleeping. She led Elijah to the living quarters of the stealth ship. That's my room over there. The rest of the rooms are free. Feel free to pick whatever room you want. I'll be heading back to the bridge. Once Scarlet said that, what she wanted to say, she turned around and made her way back to the bridge. At first, Scarlet was against this assignment, but as soon as she found out that one of the acolytes is a Rosefield, she immediately changed her tune. She has a lot of respect for the Rosefield family. The fact that there is a Rosefield in the Sith Academy is well known by now. It's a rare occurrence. According to her knowledge, there's never been a Rosefield that was in the Sith Order before. No Rosefield that she knows of has ever been Force sensitive. And she was curious. She might be cold and harsh towards the acolyte. It's not her job to be his friend. She's supposed to be his temporary teacher. She meant to test him, not coddle him like a child, even though he is a child. She takes her assignments very seriously. After all, she is a Sith. Elijah might not be a Sith yet, but he's on his way. She could feel that from the Force itself, and the dark side energy radiated off the boy. Not many acolytes radiate that much dark force energy. Even though he tries to hide most of it. She'll admit, the boy's good at hiding in plain sight, but nothing escapes her notice, at least not at his skill level. Meanwhile, Elijah picked a room right across from Scarlett's and entered the room and began to meditate. In the middle of the room, going through all the information he knows about Zelik, the blue Twi'lek he's hunting, making sure he doesn't miss anything, no matter how big or small. That's what Elijah did for several hours, go over the dossier, then meditate on what he learned. He did that several times to make sure he didn't miss anything vital. Elijah searched the Imperial database, the level he has access to get any information on Zelik's known associates. He easily found what he was looking for. It clearly he has several associates on this planet they're heading to. It's only logical that one of them will know where his whereabouts are. If he can't persuade them by talking to them, he'll use threats. If threats don't work, then he could always rely on physical harm. And he knows several ways to cause physical harm to someone if he wishes. Elijah is completely okay in doing so. He has no intention of failing this task that's set before him. He knew full well what he was getting into when he attended the Sith Academy. Sith do many horrible things. Some outright do monstrous things. If that's the cost to bring honor to his family, if he has to bloody his hands to do so, so be it. While Elijah was meditating, he opened his eyes when the ship approached the planet, sensing the massive negative energy coming from the world. As he soaked up all of the negative emotions that he feels through the force, as he made his way outside of the quarters and head to the bridge where Scarlet was waiting. Strap in, acolyte. We're about to enter the planet's atmosphere. We already got the green light to land. Elijah strapped down in one of the seats in the bridge and strapped in as Oblivion entered the planet's atmosphere and began to fly towards the landing path just outside the city. This is Oblivion. We're proceeding to break through the planet's atmosphere, heading to the landing pad now. Copy that, Oblivion. Enjoy your stay. Eventually, the ship finally landed. The moment the ship landed, Scarlet made sure to turn on the security system that was integrated into the ship. After that was done, they left the ship. The first thing Elijah noticed once he exit Oblivion is all the different type of aliens walking around, going about their business. You know what must be done. I have some things to take care of, don't worry. I'll come find you after I'm done. As Scarlet went her own way, she has someone to kill while she's here. So she's killing two birds with one stone. Meanwhile, Elijah made his way through the crime city. After leaving the dock area, and made his way towards the market district, taking a transport to cut some travel time. He has plenty of credits to use. He's not hurt for credit, nor will he anytime soon. Before Elijah could continue on his hunt to find one of Zelik's associates, he felt something through the force, something calling out to him. Through the force. It was faint, so he followed the feeling. The closer he got to the source, the stronger he could sense it through the force, eventually stopping in front of his shop that sells all sorts of equipment, crystals, and offhand items. He felt a strong connection to one of the crystals in a display rack. It was a pitch black kyber crystal. He instantly recognized what it was. It seems like the shop owner was unaware of what he has. So naturally, Elijah bought it, and bought it cheap. The shop owner pretty much thought it was useless. It's been in his shop for a couple of years. So he got a good discount off it. Once he purchased the pitch black kyber crystal, he put the crystal somewhere safe in one of the pouches that's attached to his belt. Once that was done, he left the shop and continued on his way. According to the dossier, one of Zelik's associates was a human male that is a member of one of the many gangs that make this planet their home. So finding him is going to be a lot more difficult than I originally thought. Unfortunately, the dossier doesn't have the name of the game he affiliated with. I'm definitely going to have to knock down some doors. As we cut to Scarlet viewpoint, after she left Elijah to go about his investigation, Scarlet began to track down a deserter of the Sith Order. She used the Force to guide her to her target. It helps that she knows how he thinks. So she eventually found her target and followed him through the crowd, eventually following him through an alleyway. And she followed him to an abandoned warehouse building. As she entered inside the building, "Hello, Scarlet. I know you're there." Scarlet stepped out of the shadows, becoming visible in the abandoned building, room, basically what it is. "You shouldn't have come here. You know full well the Dark Council will never allow you to escape. You know far too much. You know full well what we do to deserters. Did the Dark Council put you up to this, Scarlet? No, I volunteered, you fool. Enough chit-chat. Time to die." As she ignited her red-crimson lightsaber, so did the deserter, as he ignited his purple blade. As several Republic troopers come flying through the window and immediately opening fire upon Scarlet. Scarlet growled and reflected all of the energy bolts coming from the Republic troopers' rifles. Not only did you desert, you traitor, but you're a traitor on top of that. It's nothing personal, Scarlet. I did what I needed to survive. Without no hesitation, she moved so fast that the Sith deserter didn't have enough time to warn them. Scarlet viciously and skillfully cut all four of the Republic troopers down simultaneously, as all four of the Republic troopers fall down to the ground dead. As Scarlet pointed her crimson red lightsaber at the deserter, You're next, you goddamn traitor. As Scarlet rush and begin to... As Scarlet rush and began a deadly lightsaber battle with the traitor of the Empire, as purple and red begins to collide with each other, as the light of their lightsabers illuminate the room of the warehouse, the echoes of their lightsabers colliding with each other could be heard all around the room. As the sound is echoing, Scarlet proceeds to grind her red, crimson red lightsaber against the traitors. As the two energy blades begin to grind against each other, you know you can't escape the Empire. A true Sith would take his death with pride. But what did you do? You ran like a little coward, like a Jedi. Not only that, you've been associating yourself with that group, that rebellic scum. You see, Scarlet, the Empire is destined for doom. Infighting everywhere is destroying the entire Empire. And I'm not talking about the Sith. I'm talking about the military structure. Betrayal. Killing superior officers in hopes to gain their position. It sickens me. I want something more than just killing, Scarlet. By now, Scarlet is frowning severely. She clearly doesn't like what she's hearing, judging by her facial expression. Can't you see? They're just using us. The moment any of us become obsolete, they'll just throw us away like an outdated, broken weapon. I can't deny the Sith Order has their problems, but what you did is way out of the line, working with the Jedi and the Republic. If you want peace and love, join the fucking Jedi. You could join them in death. As Scarlet activated her second lightsaber in her opposite hand and performed an upward slash, only for the traitor Sith to activate his second lightsaber to block the slash. He immediately backed off by hopping backwards a few times. But Scarlet wasn't going to allow this scum to live any longer. She used the Force to pull him towards her and immediately shoot him with a high dose of powerful Force lightning, making the traitor scream out in pain as he drops to the floor. As Scarlet continued to shoot Force lightning out of her fingertips and slowly walking towards them, then she used her other hand to shoot Force lightning as she's using both of her hands. By now, her lightsabers are attached to her hip. As she's increased the voltage of her Force lightning, making it more powerful. Please, stop, mercy. I don't want to die. There's no mercy. If you took your lessons at the Sith Academy more seriously when you attend, you would have known that, fool. We are Sith. There is no mercy. As Scarlet increased the power of her Force lightning, completely vaporizing him, leaving nothing but charred remains until there was nothing but ash left. That's where we're going to stop it. Catch you guys in the next video.